Let's go over the release from last Thursday, the 25th of July. All right, let's jump right in. So customer portal got some love this release. So we added some new settings to customer portal so we can create more dynamic settings for our end users. So let's go over the first one here. So custom time interval is something that we introduced a few releases ago, where you could set a cutoff time interval, or rather a custom time interval, when they could book an appointment from the earliest day to the latest day. We've now introduced a cutoff time. Cutoff time is the time of day where an end user can book an appointment. So if the cutoff time in this example is 12 o'clock noon, that means if they receive the customer portal email to book an appointment at 1 o'clock and they go access the website and they want to book an appointment for today, they will not be able to because the cutoff time is already passed and they will not book. If they receive the email now and the cutoff time was at 1700, they will be able to book an appointment because the cutoff time is not passed yet. So this can really greatly benefit a lot of your projects. We need to have a cutoff time because there are some specific cases where planning is already done for the next day and you don't need more requests coming in just to have to call the customer back and say, hey, sorry, we can't book at this time. So this will alleviate a lot of problems. The next one here is enable time slots. Before, we only had one time slot. It was from 9 to 5 p.m. And you can only book a service window, or the end user can only choose a day and not the time slot. So now we introduce new settings here where you can add in different time slots. So now you can create as many time slots as you want. So we'll just do a quick one here. So we'll do a classic full day. I'll do from 08 to 1700. We'll do a half day from 08 to 1300. And then do an afternoon slot, 1300 to 1700. So now I have 3 time slots that the end user will be able to choose from. And you can also select the default. In this case, I'll still select the full day as default for this. So let's see this in action. So I'm going to save that. And let's go take a look at the custom portal now. Let's refresh it. I won't be able to show you cutoff time, but I explained that already, but you can easily see the time slots. So we have different time slots on there so that end users just expected to pick their day and then select the time slot that they're available. So if they want to, I'm only available in the afternoon, select the day, select the time slot, check your box and confirm. Let's take a look at what it looks like in the workplace. So I selected 13 to 17. So now I go to my intervention here. You see I have a fixed time slot from 13 to 1700. So the dispatcher knows, all right, this user needs to have an appointment between these times here. So that is a cool one. All right, let's go to the next one. Scheduling Assistant got some love as well. So now the Scheduling Assistant, as you just saw, we have this beautiful, nice calendar here in Customer Portal. We have taken much of this and we've now transferred over to the Scheduling Assistant. So when you now open up Scheduling Assistant, let me go to the right tab. Now when you go to the Scheduling Assistant, it looks very familiar to the one in Customer Portal. I know many of you probably don't use Customer Portal, so let's go through this real quick. What has, we added the ESDT. We've updated the legend here. We updated the button. We updated the UI a bit. So now it's a little green. Before it was like a little red indicator here. We just updated this a little bit, updated the button, and we added a new legend. We now display the ESDT if there is one, which I do have one here. Let's go look at this one. All right, so now we display the ESDT indicated by the symbol here with the marked zone on the left. And the LSDT is now marked here with the color zone on the right. And you also notice these triangles here in the top left corner and the bottom right corner. This is the parts availability. This is in reference to the part storage time. So in this case, the part storage, I believe, was 10 days. So it's also just displaying the part availability so a dispatcher can see at a glance. All right, I know when the parts are available, I have the ESDT, I have the LSDT, and I know when I can do this. The calendar is automatically going to check for several days in advance already. So you see this green check mark, that means that there's availability in regards to parts and engineer. So if you click on this, you know there's parts available and engineer available. If there's parts, if there's parts, it'll display it. You can continue on checking other days. It's going to check it as you click on it. Obviously, it's the weekend. We don't allow weekends in this project, so it's going to mark it as red. And as you see, the LSDT is here, but parts availability is here. So if I click on this, it's still good. Even though the LSDT is the next day, it's still going to mark this as bad because I don't have parts available. engineers available, but parts are not available. So yeah, this is the new design to the scheduling assistant. Let's move on to the next one. All right, another really good one. So we have labels throughout our application, and labels are referring to these things here: status, location, and history, intervention, condition, engineer category, C&E parent, all these different labels. This is what we chose to name them as. If you don't like the naming, we now offer you a possibility to change every label we have available in Workplace and an admin panel and customer portal. So if you want to go to translations, we have a new page here under the access area, custom translations. You simply go here. You saw me, I just copied this engineers real quick. Maybe for your project, you don't like the term engineers, you want to change it. So you go in here and you search the word you want to change. Right off the bat, you'll see a big list because most of our words are repeated throughout the application. And you'll see the English versions and all the other languages that we offer here, the versions that we have for them. The path is where it's at. You're gonna have to learn this over time, but the path is where it's located. So in this case, we are in the timeline component. This would be the header. So we're looking for timeline header. So here you see timeline, content header, engineers. So this is probably the right one. So you're gonna click on this one. And when you open up, you'll get this edit form, which has all the languages and a table that you can see you can edit. So here we're gonna go here. We don't like the term engineers. We're gonna use the term agents. You could change the other languages if you want to as well, but we're just going to change English for this example. So we change it to agents, save it, refresh the page. And now, as you see, it is agents. And then you can just go through the rest of the different areas and change whatever you need to change. You want to change agents scope, select, limit, include agents. You just go through and manually change each one of those. In the case that you want to change it back for whatever reason, for now, you simply go here. You can see there's now a reset button. You click on the reset button and changes to engineers. You hit save. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to reset? Because there's no way to get it back once you do. So yes, we want to reset. Now engineers is back to engineers. So as I said, you can access any label we have in the admin panel and workplace. Everywhere we have labels, you can change a lot of them. So have fun, go wild. Be careful though. There are some that if you do change, the functionality behind them won't work. There are some cases where we have some variables in there, like these here. If it has brackets in it, that's a variable. If you then remove this, this will no longer display the variable needed. So be careful and change translations sparingly if you need to. Just be careful of these brackets, basically. All right, staying in the admin panel, workflows. A while ago, we've updated the workflows, how they look, how they behave, how you work with them. And now this is just in preparation for future releases, but for now we've introduced a validation section. So now we have a validation section here, but before I get there, you'll notice now we have a new area up here. So you see this validation failed with a red icon here. That means something's wrong with my workflow. And in this case, I have a condition loops with node, UUID, blah, blah, blah. And this is some issue with the loop condition. So if you click on this, it'll take you to the node in question, and you can analyze it or have your workflow experts analyze it and figure out where the loop is. And same applies to all these other ones. It's going to take you to the problem child here, and you'll figure it out. There are other ones I unfortunately, or fortunately, probably don't have a lot of validation errors, so I can't show you all of them, but there are several others where your workflow experts can go in there and fix it. Let me show you a positive one. So this is a validation failed here. When it's good, it'll be green, validation passed. You'll find no issues here. You can also refresh it. If you're making changes in the fly or someone's making changes on our side in the fly, they can check it here and see if there are any validation issues. All right, let's go back to workplace. You always want to see where your engineer is on the map. We had an option here. You click on here, you can click show on map, and it's going to show your engineer on the map. But that was too much clicks, so we made it easier for you. So now you simply click on the engineer you want to see on the map. Let me go to a better day because it looks even better when they actually have a route. So as soon as you click on it, it's going to show the engineer's home base location as well as any route that they have for that day. You just simply click on another engineer, it's going to show their home base location and their route for the day. The same applies to others. To delete it, just simply click on the engineer again, and you won't see their highlighted on the map. That is a nice quality of life one. Hope you enjoy. Another small one. We had some button, I don't want to say issues, but we had some button problems. When there is a form behind a button, we have this pencil icon. And when you reduce the page smaller, we had this drop down. This drop down, unfortunately, before was not showing which forms had or which buttons had a form behind it. We have now fixed that. So now you can see when you open the drop down, you can see which button is going to open a form and which ones are not going to open a form. So yeah, that's the major releases here.